Welcome back to my garage. The cylinder is sleeved and ready to go. I've just deburred it. So let's install it on the case and check the port timings, and hopefully they're not out of whack. Shouldn't be. And then assemble the rest of the assembly and start up. I'm reinstalling these B-transfer rear wall angle altering inserts. Now the cylinder made most power with the inserts making that wall angle like 90 degrees across the bore. And these are not like that. They're aimed more towards the exhaust port, but not as extreme as the cylinder is without them. So, but we'll try with these first and see how it behaves. Because this angle should be more, in theory, these should be better. But the case volume is larger, and that might be a problem. But we'll see. Now with the port timings fixed and all that. Versus how it was before the sleeving. If you're new here, you're probably wondering what these are. They're blanking plates to block the cross communication between the auxiliary exhaust ports and the A transfer and B transfer when the piston is passing over the ports. I actually borrowed them from Fritz Overmars's FOS engine. Okay, 0.1 millimeters. We'll bring that up to closer to 0.4. Now with the steel liner or cast iron liner, the piston will probably expand faster versus the liner compared to with the plated, just a plated cylinder. So a larger gap is probably a good idea, especially because I'm running the cylinder fairly cold. Point 0.3 goes in easily. And 0.4 does not want to go in there, but almost. So I think let's call that good. I'm missing the 0.35, but we're probably sitting at 0.35. Wonder where my 0.35 went. And I got a bunch of like loose ones here, but no 0.35. Probably used for shimming something at some point. Well, these pistons are missing the little notch there for the circlip, and I need that notch to be able to remove these those plastic inserts. The occasional extra noise you're hearing is my heater, because we're experiencing the best winter ever in a bad way here in Norway, at least where I'm living in Norway. I'm going to use my special gauge here to check the port timing. This wire is 1.57 millimeters thick, or 1.6, which means there's 2.22 millimeters across here when this is sitting at 45 degrees in relation to the piston travel. So the results minus 2.22 millimeters, not degrees. 20.22. Let's see. That's 18 millimeters, which is a little bit higher than what I wanted, but I think within reason. We're sitting at 79.5 degrees. Let's check the transfers. It might be we'll need to lower the cylinder a little bit, because if the transfers are sitting too high now. The exhaust port was supposed to be 198, I think, if I remember correctly, not 201, so there's 3 degrees too much. Right. 7.93 plus 2.22. The B transfers are sitting at 134 now, which is 4 degrees too much. Let's remove the base gasket and see where that gets us. Like 7.7 millimeters. So that's 132. Now my transfers are sitting at 130, 130 and 132. 130 and 132, which is a slight bit higher than intended, but the best I can do without skimming the cylinder, the underside of the cylinder. I realized these inserts were interfering with my measurements because the cylinder wasn't seating properly without the gasket. Let's see how it behaves now. I actually aborted the whole mission yesterday because we have a problem here. So this is nice and straight, not a problem. Well, this is not. It's fairly straight out here, but not so much further in, and not so much like diagonally. So what's happened here is my super tight press fit has bulged the whole aluminium casing out from the middle and outwards. And lesson learned. If only I had had accurate enough equipment to measure that bore before pressing, so that I could make it less tight. So need to get some. I need to get a larger standard. I wonder if those shim rings in the set can, so that I can set the gauge at, I can probably set the gauge to 40 and then add the shim rings, and 40 is now 50, you know, with the shims and stuff, probably. I'm not sure if that is accurate enough, but I'll ask Mitutoyo next week, because I'm going on a little trip to Sweden and visiting them. The bore is really straight and accurate, but it's not parallel to this. We can't know if it is. I don't think it is. And it's actually used to be parallel to this, but this is distorted, and you can't trust this surface anymore. So we'll have to, I think the best solution will be a mandrel in the lathe. Really tight mandrel, so that it's absolutely no way for it to do this. Then tighten it down. So this, the bore is the reference surface, and it's not like, not this, but the bore itself. Tighten it down and then skim this surface until it is flat again, and then chuck this up in the mill and re-flatten this, and then adjust accordingly to get port timing. I haven't got the best selection of mandrel material for this. Something soft would be, softish would be great. I don't think I've got anything at the moment. Probably just steel, and maybe not such a long, and not the longest piece of that either, I think. I've chucked up the longest and most suitable piece I could find here. I might need to go get some more, because well, this is reading 39.97. That is like the final dimension. That would have been a nice final dimension for a really snug fit. But The problem is I need to take a skim cut and touch the whole surface for this to be nice and parallel to the lathe. So oh, that's far too loose. Gotta find something else. I forgot to charge my wireless mic, so the backup mic will have to do for now. In lack of suitable mandrel material, and I don't feel like driving and spending hours trying to find something now, I think we're going to have a go at setting this up in the mill and shimming it, like indicate the bore up and down in various positions and shimming it until it reads 0 everywhere. That's about 0.15 millimeters difference. There's pretty much nothing there. Didn't really make much of a difference. We're down to 0.05 millimeters now. Yeah, pretty much no movement at all, so good. Now let's check this direction again. Yep, no movement there either. So now this should be perpendicular to the bore. And we can skim this surface, flip it, and then skim, and look at the difference there. Look, like that's a lot. That was 0.4 millimeters to touch the whole surface. Would have really screwed the squish gap, because that's pretty much the squish gap. It would have been 0 at one side and 0.1 at the other side if going for the typical 0.5 millimeters of squish gap. Let's flip it and see if the bore is sitting perpendicular to the table now. Yeah, there is nothing. It's perfectly straight this direction. Now let's check this direction. Seeing no movement, so we're good. Yes. I've torqued it down again, and this time there's no gaps anywhere, and the piston is protruding the same amount everywhere. Exactly 1 millimeter at the edge. I'm gonna do this by eye, because I think actually, even though this gauge I've made should like make sure there's no errors in the measurements. If there's just a slight, like if this is not 45 but 47, then it makes a difference. I think just doing this by eye actually could be better. And we're sitting at 18.59, 80.75 degrees. So that'll be 99. Exhaust duration of 199 degrees of duration. Let's check the transfers. Barely cracks open at like 9.3, 128. If my eye chronometer is just 0.23 millimeters, we're talking 130, so I think we're good. We'll have to take 1 millimeter off this now. With the piston sitting flush with the head, this has a 0.5 millimeter squish gap, which means we'll have to take 1 millimeter off the squish area. And this needs machining anyway, because it got roughed up by the piston ring breaking, which led to all this. Reading 0.54, so that's good. Awesome. The cylinder is nice and straight. The head is done. I forgot to print new ones of these, so I'll have to start a print now. Which means this is as far as we'll get in this video, and things are still going a little bit slow. So I'm sorry, but I won't complain, and we'll be back to our normal pace soon, probably next week. Because this is ready now. All I have to do is insert those inserts and assemble everything, and then start up and see what happens. Hopefully the new porting arrangement is it's definitely more like what it should have been, like how I designed it, and now with the 3-port design and all, maybe better, and maybe this dyno will show us some good numbers. We'll see. Until next time.